Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, we are kite surfing at Sherman Island, and it was awesome. It was in June, and we had our Palisade out there. Jordan's parking in front of the car, and we had a great camping spot. I'm telling you, I had a great time. We got our cooler set up, and we're getting ready to launch the kite. So you're in control at Sherman Island, but you better ask for assistance, because you know what? It gets tricky on the launch. So it's tough, and there's a lot of kites around. So tell people what you need if you think you are in a bad spot. So I was pretty far upwind here, and I needed the kite to go back downwind a little bit. So, and it was tricky because we were trying to work through kites, and yeah. So everybody's really cooperative, and there wasn't that many kites here at this time. So we're on the 9-meter Cabrina. And we're trying to work it out, so it all worked out, and we got the kite in the sky. We definitely don't want to end up in the bushes, because that would be a bad thing. Everybody's being pretty respectful, trying to wait for people's kite lines to go by, and Sherman Island's awesome. But I'm telling you, this little pathway in the summertime, it is blazing hot. My little booties were on fire. I couldn't get to the beach fast enough and get my feet in the water, because oh my god, that was hot tamale for sure. So we made it down to the beach, and there's a lot of people like sunbathing and coolers and all kinds of crazy stuff there. The wind's up, and I'm on the 9-meter, and I'm trimmed in, and I'm trying to get down without hurting myself with these brand new knees. So we make the transition here, and we're going over to where I have my board stored. So grabbing the BG board here, and it's a 6'2", 6'4", just regular surfboard, strapless, and I had my foil off to the side. Had a pretty cool foil session. I'll post a different video for foil. But yeah, it was awesome. I had a great time. I had there full disclosure. I had to do 2 walks of shame all the way down there where that big power pole is over on the side. You'll see that towards the end of the video. It was not fun. I was on a flood tide, and I did not make it, and twice actually. Ended up in the windsurf area once, and down towards the big power pole. But working on transitions here, and this is, I was doing pretty good, I thought. So last week in Long Beach, I did even better, so it's a win. So we're on the 11-meter Cabrina switchblade here, and the winds are pumping. So I'm trying to do this little hang 10 maneuver, put my feet together, and then try to dive the kite the other direction and move the kite around and not die. And I'm almost sinking the board here because my feet are pretty far back. And as soon as I get my front foot up, it starts working, and then I can dive the kite and start maintaining my stability. So Sherman Island's awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's not a beginner spot. You have to be able to get upwind, and even if you get upwind, if it's a flood tide, you're not going to make it. I'm telling you, because I was struggling, and especially in light winds. If it's blowing like normal Sherman Island stuff, no problem. But I was struggling. So trying to make the transitions here, and I keep making them, so that's good. It's not pretty by no means. It's not pretty, but leave some comments down below if you got some tips and tricks for me. But we're doing it. There's some traffic around. There's some wingers, and there's some windsurfers and kiters and all kinds of crazy stuff. And here I kind of fell back in the water, but I was still able to make that transition. I moved my feet around, and it almost looked like a twin tip session right there. So here's a 9 meter, and we almost had a bad day. We were moving out pretty good, and then I almost backstalled this thing. So way off the back side of the islands here, it's there's a lot of reeds and little kelp stuff going on, and it was blowing pretty hard, but I had a little issue. But we're moving upwind, we're getting around the islands and having some fun. Yeah, Sherman Island is awesome. I'm telling you guys, you got to go up and visit. Camping, I think it's $30 a night, and great camp spots. I had an awesome spot. I love that spot. I got that spot last year as well. And I'm going to go back in towards the beginning of September. And we should have, you got to come down. It's going to be fun. You got to come down. It's going to be fun. Hopefully the winds are up. The wind forecast for this week was really shabby, actually. They had a really big heat bubble, and it wasn't looking good, but it all panned out. The first day was all foiling session, and the next 4 days were awesome kiting. So just mowing the grass. I do not do any kind of tricks or jumping or anything like that. I'm still learning, but I'm doing a lot better. It's a pretty long video, but this video is for me for the most part, trying to get around some traffic and doing my thing. But I want to take you guys along for the ride. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. It all helps. And just trying to do these transitions. That's my goal in life, is turn around without falling in the water and get eaten by sharks. So it's a good time to learn in Sherman Island, because here's the dude, I was struggling so hard, and I sank the board, but I still made it, and I'm on the 9. So I'm getting around some wingers here and trying to make it upwind. So I'm getting to the windsurf zone here. I think I might have had to do a walk of shame here. I think I did. Or I walked around the island. But, it was tricky. What's weird is the further you go towards that little green spot there, it gets a little deeper. So this is the first walk of shame. And then the next one, I actually show you on video how bad it was. So backstall, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to taco my kite, and I was able to get that bar out fast enough, and that was not fun. So we're moving out here on the Cabrina board this time. It's a 5.7 surfboard, strapless, and it was moving out. The winds were up, and I was having a great time. This is the S-Quad, and I really want a new S-Quad. I want a 5.9. I think it'll be perfect because they're a little bit more volume on the new ones. So, hey, Cabrina, hook me up. Yeah, I'm nobody, but I'm having some fun. Learning how to kite surf, and it's awesome. One of these days, I want to try to do the San Francisco bridge, and we'll see what happens with that. I need some friends though, because I don't want to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere with no help. I do have a radio. I didn't bring it here because I didn't think I need it, and it's pretty user friendly. You know, you might end up with the reeds a little bit, but there's some safe, you know, areas where you can get back to the shore if you have your kite in the sky. If not, it's going to be a long swim. So making this transition and just trying to struggle, but I did it on the 5.9 or the 5.7. The winds were up, so it was working out pretty good. I think I'm on an 11 meter right here. So working through some traffic, and you know, there's windsurfers, there's kiters, there's wing dingers, there's all kinds of people out here having some fun. It's Sherman Island, and yeah. I was just having an awesome weekend, or a week actually, almost a full week I spent down there. So we're down past the islands here, and there's a lot of that, you know, kelpy seaweed stuff that's down there. On the 11, we're trying to make this transition here. I can't believe I am doing that great. I mean, to me, it's great. So I had some great, met some great friends. Laz, I think he's a pilot, and he let me borrow one of his boards, and it was a small short board, and I can't remember what the manufacturer was, but I really did good on that. It had a good flotation, and I was having some fun with that. It was really quick and snappy, and I was able to get upwind and do a transition. But doing transitions all weekend, learning, and then you know what? I was able to take this forward to Long Beach this last weekend, and I'll post that video here pretty quick. But man, I did really good in Long Beach, so this is definitely a step forward. So Sherman Island's so user friendly. My buddy Mike Joy was there, and you know, it just made the weekend really, really fun. A lot of fun people. One big apology I have to send out to I think it was her name was Shannon. I parked right in front of her, and I started my car late in the evening, and I guess my headlights were on, and I must have blinded the heck out of her in her camper. So really sorry about that. That wasn't my intention. Usually the headlights are off, but I had my windscreen up in the front, and I couldn't tell. So Shannon, if you're watching this video, sorry about that. It won't happen again. But like I said, working on these transitions, and just trying to put those feet together and get the kite over my head and just dive the kite. So I'm definitely not a pro. I'm just a, you know, beginner intermediate type kiter. But dude, I'm having so much fun. I love this kiteboard stuff. It's awesome. And I got a big floaty board. This thing is big and floaty, and it helps me out to just make my life easy. I had bilateral knee replacement, and I got to take it easy on myself. So just for me being on the board now is amazing. So. Yeah, we're nice and trimmed in. It's, you know, the winds are always blowing at Sherman Island. It is a fun place to kite. You just got to really think about the tides, because they have a flood tide and ebb tide. And if it's going flooding, you're getting pushed with the wind, and it's hard to make up ground unless you have a lot of wind or a foil or something like that. It's tricky. So, you know, think about when you're going out, you don't want to get stuck way downwind and have to do the walk of shame. Like, hello, it's coming up. You'll see it. But it was a pretty friendly walk of shame, so you'll see it. So I always trim out before I make my transitions. Try to look for some smooth water, and then put the feet together, kind of go downwind a little bit, and then kite over the head and try to turn. So aim downwind, trying to get some speed again. There we go, speed, and then feet are switching, and then kite up and dive the other way, and try not to fall off the board and face plant. Believe me, I had plenty of face plants this weekend. So as soon as I get my feet switched around, it's just like normal kiteboarding, so it's great. So I can do it. Yeah, the swells really can get big here and really tight as well. So tough on my knees, that's for sure. But hey, having some fun. Yeah, I am so squirrely trying to get my feet switched around here, especially when I lose speed. But the wind helps so much, and you can see I'm pulling that trim in because it's so windy. But if you lose speed, it's tough. So I try to stay as powered up as I can when I make the transitions, and it works out. But be ready to pull that trim line in or let it out as needed. Like, there you go. It slowed down a little bit in the wind action, and so I put that trim back out. And that was from like 100% trim to 0% trim. Yeah, having some fun though. Sherman Island's a lot of fun, I'm telling you. You know, it can be choppy, it can be wavy, you can ride some swells, you can do some tricks, depending on your skill level. I'm telling you, it is a lot of fun, and the people around are so awesome. The kiting community right at Sherman Island is awesome. Like I said, I'm going back in early September, and it's going to be so much fun. Wind or no wind, it's a fun place to go. I camp right out of my Hyundai Palisade inside the car. There's no tent camping there. You have to either have a motorhome or you've got to camp in your car. So make sure you come prepared. So here we go. I'm losing. I'm getting ready for a walk of shame, I guess. So this is the windsurf area, and I didn't quite make it. So walk of shame 1. And this was a flood tide, and I could not make it around. The winds were really light, and you see that big power pole there. I'm diving. I'm struggling. I'm trying to make it to the, upwind, but I'm moving out fast, right? You think I'm gaining some upwind? No, look, I'm still going downwind for some reason. But I am pumping, and I could not make it upwind at all. So I'm like, this is not good. And I was struggling for like 2 or 3 runs here. So you can see this here. I see the big power pole there. I'm like, this is not good. I got to get out because I don't want to end up downriver somewhere, or actually upriver somewhere. So I gotta cut my losses and look for a good spot to recover. and this is where it's at. So the power pole, there is one little tiny spot that has some sandbags, which I didn't know that before. I thought I was going to climb some rocks, but look at this. Right by the power pole, there's a batch of sandbags. So I was able to maneuver over the sandbags, climb my little happy butt up the sandbags, and then continue with the walk of shame. And I had no clue that was there. It just miraculously was there. I was like, this is awesome. So for those of you guys, look, aim for that power pole, because there's a nice little awesome sandbag thing there. No, it wasn't slippery. There was no rocks. I didn't have to deal with that. I was able to walk it up nice and easy. I should have trimmed the kite out to help me like pull myself up, but it was pretty windy already. It's just the flood tide just kept pushing me down. So now the long walk of shame. I'm way outside the park. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't even fun. I was outside the gates here. I was outside the pay station. I was way out there. Oh, welcome to Sherman Island. Yeah, right? So there's the pay station. I'm trying to maneuver around. And pro tip, go to the, I guess the east side of the power pole there, or the flag pole, so you don't get tangled up. So you can see the wind meter is like null and void there. It is no wind. But the kite's still staying in the sky, so I'm just dealing with that and just keep cruising through the walk of shame here. By all the vehicles, my buddy Mike's vehicle is right there. Look at his nice cool camper. Yep, aerial view of the camper, and he's got his solar out. And he's moving out, and I just meet him out on the beach, and he helped me land my kite. Trying to make it through the bushes, and oh my gosh, there's Mike. Look at that. And there's nobody around as well, but this is a little later session, and you know, I'm gonna power it down, and I think Rhonda's helped me out here. And I think this is the 14 meter, and she's like, what the heck? I was way overpowered.
You need to use your outside muscles. Thank you. Yeah, well, I was way overpowered. I was kicking my butt.
So Sherman Island, this is Mikey Mike. Make sure you leave some comments. All right, man. Peace.